what should you expect coming out of the program? Before we jump to the numbers, the first thing you should expect coming out of the program is that you will become a much stronger engineer. That's why if you look at the heading of the slide, it says better engineers leads to top offers and significant increments. You should expect much more fluency in your ability to think. You should expect to become a subject matter expert in these areas. And you should expect, most importantly, to have the capability and the confidence to be able to make these transitions to top teams, because we've seen this play out 13,000 times, right? The numbers here, guys, are based on the offers that we've seen in the last 2 quarters, Q1 and Q2, right? So very, very recent. Typically, the average offer that we are seeing is upwards of 300K. It's 310K. Now, this is all cash plus equity, right? Now, if you're an early engineer, don't think this is not for you. I'm going to tell you how this breaks down by level in the next slide. But if you look at across the board, right, the average offer that we have gotten in the first 6 months of this year is about $310,000, right? The median is 280. The highest offer that we got for somebody, remember all of these are people who are failing interviews, was 1.18 million this year. 76% of our offers are over 200K. In terms of increments, right, there is no investment, at least that I know of, that gives you a better return on your investment. We internally say this is the highest ROE, return on education, that one can ever get. Ranges for increments range between $75,000 to $150,000 per year, right? The highest increment that we've seen this year is one of our students got an increment of $835,000. That is the power of moving up in the software ladder. For the same qualifications, for better core CS skills, the arbitrage is huge, which is why we keep saying you should always be interview ready, because only somebody who is not smart is someone who will not realize that they should be always interview ready, because the opportunities are so significant. And there is no other career ladder apart from software engineering where this exists, right? These numbers are real. They are based on offers that we have seen in the first couple of quarters. And almost everybody who got these offers are people who failed interviews repeatedly, like Sanjog, who failed 13 interviews, like Christian, like Ashima, who all failed interviews before coming to the platform. Now, if you look at it by level, this is typically the compensation that you would see at the early level. So 0 to 2 years, right? 0 to 3 years, you are looking at 125 to 200K. If you are mid to senior management, you are looking at about 200 to 300K. And if you're going to management, you're looking at 300K to 600K. This is typically the range that you would see by level. We have seen these offers come in year after year. The average that we have seen this year is actually 109,000 increment, right? Last year it was 104,000. The average offer that we have seen this year is 310,000. But this is the range. Early engineers, 150 to 200. Management, 300 to 600. It is definitely getting tougher, right? To nail these interviews, right? But our students keep doing this, right? And that is why we want you to bet on yourself. Now, given all of this, I want to quickly recap before I start telling you how you get into the program, and then I'm going to wrap up. We started off by talking about who we are. We are a platform to help you become a better engineer, and through that process, up level significantly in your career. We are very passionate about this because we believe there is really no calling that is more worthy. It is the ability to have the career of a lifetime that we are trying to help with. This is not something which is just a rah-rah course. It is about solving the 4 problems that require to be solved to help people up level. Exceptionally good curriculum built out of companies. Exceptionally good instructors taught by actual hiring managers, providing you the constant motivation to stay the course, All of this being enabled by deep structure built on feedback loops, forcing functions. All of this required to provide you with the escape velocity to move into the orbit of a new job. We talked about how the curriculum, everything here is developed, taught, all by hiring managers. How we have 17 different pathways, different for early engineers, different for ICs, different for staff engineers, different for engineering managers. The orgs that we support through this course are the software engineering org and the product orgs, TPM, PM, and the management orgs, right? We talked about the week, the unit of learning, the circle of rigor, the circle of life, and we talked about how timelines are completely flexible. It could be the typical course, it could be an accelerated version, or it could be an extended version. And finally, we talked about how you have these very unique feedback loops in the form of tests, in the form of practice sessions, coaching sessions, and then mock interviews, right, to help you keep moving up. And then we talked about the offers that are available to alumni at top companies. And in effect, we talked about the powerful career ladder that is there for software engineers, right? Now, how do you get started in the program, guys, right? It's very simple. This is what the typical investment in your career looks like. If you are an early engineer, in all cases, we have a trial week. You start the course, go through the first week of the course. The first week of the course is a trial week. Post that, you then continue in the program, right? The trial week is different based on which pathway you take, right? But you try all components of the program: classes, homework, tests, coaching sessions, everything, right? And then you continue in the program. The trial week, the initial investment, if you are an early engineer, it's $300 for the trial week. Go through the program, and then you're investing the remaining, which is $4,500. In all of these cases, guys, we have payment plans, we have money back guarantees, all of this, which I'll come into a second. If you're an experienced engineer, IC all the way up to staff engineer, the initial investment is $600. That's for the trial week. And post that, you will pay the remaining, which is $6,600 to $7,600, depending on which domain and which masterclass that you pick. If you're an engineering manager, you'll have more coming out of the program. And so you'll pay the $600 initial investment, and then you'll pay $9,000 after the trial. In all of these cases, guys, if you pay upfront, there is a slight benefit, right? But we do understand that not everybody wants to pay upfront, right? Typically, 75% of our students do pay upfront, but we understand that you may not want to do it. You may want to pay it in a time-bound manner. You may want to stretch it over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, right? In this environment, you might want to take longer, right? You might want to do it shorter. It's really up to you. We don't want financing to be a barrier, right? We want to enable you to do this. And so we have tied up with a firm. You have 3, 6, 9, or 12-month payment plans. You can choose whatever you want. You have a money back guarantee.